Good day, ladies and gents. It's about that time. That looks good. How are you guys? Oh my gosh. I am doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. Yes, I am doing pretty well. Pretty well. Thank you for asking. All right. I don't know about you, but I'm doing quite well. Yes, I'm doing quite well. Thank you so much. Hold on, I gotta turn my other camera on. Sorry about that. Cause y'all gonna be like, man, bro, what's up with that shiny ass head of yours? I know, right? Don't act like that though. Be nice. Oop, hold on. All right, there we go. Are we good? I think we are. Yep. Okay, got the mic going. Got the camera up. Hold on 1 second. So how are you guys? I am quite well. Thank you so much for asking. Today I cannot believe it. Hello, Rebecca. I still gotta send you your stuff. I'll hopefully remind me after we're done and I'll send it over to you. I sent yours with the Jerry's. So let me know. Hello, Jessica. Um, let me know if you can't download it. I'll still send it to you anyway. That's fine. Um, so we can kind of go from there. So tonight, I kind of thought we'd do things a little differently, if you guys don't mind. We're going to say hello first off. So hello, how are you? How's everything going? How's your day? Renita, what's going down? My mad scientist. Yes, yes. I did laundry. So I got a few more shirts. Just a few more. Not many. Because it's usually like gray, black, and red. Those are my colors. You know, even with my glasses, right? I have my red frames, my white frames. I got another these, and then I got some more black ones and some other red ones. Or whatever. You know what's funny about the glasses, right? I bought them. They are they're regular. Like you can like $4 or $5 dollar glasses from anywhere. I got it from Amazon, but they will actually put in real prescriptions for you. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So like, you know how frames will cost anywhere from $300 to $400. Some of them do, but now, oh no, you can get frames for like a little bit of nothing. Then I go in and pay $40 to get the lenses popped in them. Done. What? It's a hack. Whole hack. Anyway, whatever. How are you guys before we get started? How was your day? Renita says, busy, busy, busy. Of course it was. My mad scientist, of course you were busy today. Knowing you, Renita, you're always busy. Rebecca, where's Jerry? Where's Jerry? So let's Jessica says, oh, and still at it, of course. Of course you are. Jessica says, wonderful, and it felt like a Saturday. Jessica took the day off today. So of course it's gonna feel like Saturday to her. She took the whole entire day off to not do much. Okay. Jerry's over there babbling on the phone to somebody I have no idea about. Something about egg hunts. Perfect. I mean, isn't that one of his principles? Something about the family? Family coming first? Just saying. It sounds like he's right in tune, right? I don't know. Just saying. Yes, that part. Fuck yes, let's get it started. That part, that's what I like to hear, Mr. Jerry Bear. Right back with you. Ew, what's going down? How we had this whole thing kind of mapped out, but as like most stuff, whatever that you plan to do, you're probably not going to. But whatever. You kind of figure it out as you go. So hold on, where am I at? What am I doing? Okay, give me a second. Sorry, guys. All right, there we go. There we are. So today we are going to talk about 7 steps to grieve the life that you thought that you'd have. I was talking to Jessica about this, and she said something along these lines, and I was like, wow, it's a really pretty cool premise, because we have to do that quite often, and we don't just grieve people, we grieve our dreams, goals, and aspirations, especially when they're gone and we know that they're not coming back, right? The life that we've imagined, the version of the things that we thought that we were going to have by now, the timeline that never came. Sometimes the hardest thing in life is that quiet loss of what could have been. The job that never came, the relationship that never came, the one that folded, fell apart, the family, the recognition, the peace you thought you have. All gone, the friendships. Man, this is going to be my friend forever. This is my brother. This is my sister. This is like my mom. Now you can't even be in the same room with them. All right. So tonight it's not about wallowing in regret. That's not what this is. It's about honoring the part of you that dared to dream, to give yourself permission to mourn that gap between expectation and reality. Because for the most part, true healing doesn't come from pretending you're okay. It comes from facing that storm, that shit that you called life, reframing the story and finding a little bit of meaning in the chaos. So, what do you guys think about that? Let's start off by asking you what you think. Oh shit, you guys are over here talking. Anita's here. They called him. Yes, they did. Yes, he is. Okay. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys have any, by show of hands, do you guys have anything that, some stuff that I'm not sure what she is. I'm sure she'll drop in when she can. Jerry Bear asks, where's Yachty? I'm sure she'll drop in when she can. All right. But let me ask you, do you guys have any of these things that we're talking about that, like when you kind of sit in your car and you're driving, you're kind of reminiscing and thinking about those people, places, things, situations that are gone, that you're never gonna get them back. Here, let me start it off. I know I do. Matter of fact, just type in I. That lets me know that you feel me on this. Right? You feel me. Those people, places, those situations, you'll never have them again. Those things that could have been, that will never be. And oh my god, it sucks. Oh, I said I. My guy Jer Bear said I. Jessica says definitely still in the phase of grieving, becoming a mother naturally. Yep. But now I'm adopting, and I feel extremely content with my decision to adopt. So do I. She's adopting a beautiful young lady, and probably even possibly even more. But yeah, I mean, it's you take what you can. Sometimes you have to take what you can get, right? And we're gonna talk about some of that um as well. But Rebecca says that yeah, like Sean fans like yeah, there's shit that I would have loved to have, a timeline that I would have loved to occur. Dude, I know. Jessica had to throw it out there. Also grieving Tesla ownership. Fuck Elon Musk. Fuck him. I'm just saying. And I'm a Tesla owner myself. I'm gonna still rock with it no matter what. Uh, as long as there's not like a swastika like on the like as the instead of a T, it's a swastika. That's what band-aids are for. I don't know. I'm just saying until you drive one. Whew. But it's like I kind of feel like when it comes to that, it's like, bro, shut the fuck up and just build me a car. Like, stop talking. How about you do that? Stop talking. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like, shut up. Build the car. Send us to Mars. Keep your comments to yourself. Can I get a hell yeah? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let me type it in first. Because you know me. I'll go first. I'll go first. Hell yeah. And bro, keep your comments to yourself. No one cares. You're a billionaire. You will never understand what other people go through anymore. Like that's dunsies for you. Take us out. Take us to space. How about you focus on that? Thank you. That's all I'm saying. I mean, well, yes. Send yourself to Mars, Mr. Elmo. Dude, that Constitution and Oath are fucking great. Thank you, sir. Man, no, thank you, bro. I couldn't have done it if you didn't give me something. Could not have done it unless you gave me something. I put in what I knew about you. I put in your top five, the things that you love about life. I put in the fact that you've been an EMT, a fireman, a coordinator, a manager, a father, married, divorced. You done gone through all of it, and it just kind of created this cabal of stuff for you. So yeah, man, yeah. Thank you for giving me what I needed to help you. Thank you much, sir. Jerry is talking about um the Constitution that kind of helped him I kind of helped him make. I sent one to him and Rebecca both. I need to send Rebecca's off again in her own email address though. But they were beautiful though. Beautiful stuff. Or whatever. So hopefully they can get it printed off and put up on their wall and kind of go from there. So if you guys don't mind, we're gonna kind of get started. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I got this video game that I'm downloading, and I got this book that I'm reading too, or whatever. Here's the book. I don't know if you can see it. The Circus Train. I was talking to a friend of mine, Melissa. She was like, "It's an amazing book." Another friend of mine, LeVay's reading it, and I was like, "You know what? I'll read it. I'll read it." So that's what I'm reading. So I'm reading that. I'm gonna be playing this game. brand new game. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kind of get this going, and so I can bugger off and go do my thing. So hold on, let's get it started like we always do. Give me a second. Oops, sorry. Perfect. Limit myself. Okay. So like I always tell people, and for those of you who are coming in, there's usually a 60-second delay to what I see and hear, and vice versa. So if I ask you a question, if I say something, I'm not ignoring you, but it's going to take a little time for me to see or hear what you're asking me or what you're saying in response. Cool? Cool. Okay, so let's get it. Well, matter of fact, before we hold on, we're not even started yet. So tonight we're talking about 7 steps to grieve the life you thought you were gonna have. Like I said, we grieve people all the time, don't we? Of course we do. We grieve people all the time. There's nothing wrong with grieving your life, right? I mean, to a point. I mean, come on now. You know what I mean? So you can't be sitting there thinking about your ex-husband while your new husband's sitting right there watching you do it. That's weird as shit. Not even gonna lie to you. And extremely disrespectful. Funny, but very disrespectful. I'm just throwing that out there. So today, ladies and gentlemen, is day 29. Clap for yourselves. Clap for yourselves. You know how we get it started. Come on, baby, clap. Good job, buddy. Clap for yourselves. Like I always say, if you don't clap for you, who else will, right? Clap for yourselves. So, day 29, for those of you who are new to our channel and new to what we do, um, about what is it, 31 days ago, I was talking to a lady and she said to me, 15 days, 15 pieces, 15 minutes. And that's what she did to get started with her the company that she was with. And I took that idea and I ran with it. I went on Facebook and I said, hey, I'm going to start doing some free life coaching for 100 days. Coaching, training, Q&A. Show up if you need some stuff and I'll show up. So regardless of who shows up, I always do, no matter what. And I've, for the most part, have been having the same exact 5 to 7 people consistently here. And I very much appreciate that. So anybody else stopping through to hang out, we appreciate that too. As long as you're willing to hold yourself accountable, do the work, and learn a little bit, man, we welcome you. If you don't, Jared Bear, Rebecca, sis, tell them what they've won. While my family are telling you exactly what you won in their own very choice words. My name is Fearless Cummings. Welcome to Ags Fearless. I am your host and certified life coach. I've been coaching for about 23 years. My certifications include certified therapeutic coaching, certified practitioner of NLP, certified master practitioner of NLP, certified master hypnotherapist. I promise to God that happened. Certified practitioner of humanistic neurolinguistic of psychology. Dead ass, a mouthful, but that's my stuff, right? I also had some other ones too, but I just took them off because they were in different schools and whatever. But there you go. Those are my so-called qualifications. Well, certifications. Right. Now with this, I do come with um I come with a warning. Right. I think that it's imperative that I make sure that you know that I do come with a warning. My warning is that if you are easily offended, this is not for you. As my sister-in-law would say, Rebecca, she would say, swipe left. But my broski, he would say, fuck off and kick rocks. And I'm going to have to double down on that. See, again, if you're not willing to take any accountability, responsibility or ownership of your life, or even do the work, this isn't for you. Okay? But if you are, we welcome you with open arms. Is that cool, y'all? We good? We told them how we felt, right? Think so. All right, so in the fearless fashion, what am I here to do? What am I not here to do? Let's start there. I'm not here to motivate you because you don't need motivation. As Jessica says, you need structure, which I love that word. You need discipline, even better, but you don't need motivation. And if I have to motivate you constantly, motivation is way beyond what you need. Okay, you need something else. Number two, I'm not here to sugarcoat or coddle you. A kind word is, as Renita would say, yes, but coddling, sugarcoating, we're not doing that. Number three, false positivity. Oh, thanks for showing up. You're doing great. If you're not doing the work, you're not getting results for that. That's no credit. That's how that works. Number four, I'm not here to fix you because you're not broke, dent, cracked, binged up, mollywopped a little bit, but you're not broken. Get off that shit. Right? So what am I here to do? I'm here to give you practical tools that work. And when I say practical, I mean these presentations, there's 29 of them now, different presentations for the most part. And here's the thing, they're all kind of put together like this cookie cutter type of thing. But when you ask questions, when you know what you want out of life, that's not cookie cutter because we can all help you, right? Everybody here has been here, gone through it. So whether I can help you or not, somebody in here probably can, right? But hopefully we'll do it together. And what I'm here to also do is give you the what I like to call the ABCs of personal development: accountability, boundaries, and a personal constitution. And we'll talk about that as we go on because, whatever. All right. So, like everything else that we discussed, for those of you who are new, we repeat a lot of this stuff. So, every day we'll talk about something along the same lines of personal development, right? And repetition is key to all of it. Anything worth knowing, learning, teaching, or understanding revolves around this one word: repetition. Everybody here already knows this. So, if you're new to our channel, we welcome you, and you're going to hear this shit a lot. Just saying. All right. So, if you're new, and if you're not, either way, go grab yourself a pen, a pad, a snack, a drink, whatever you need to focus, because I'm going to be giving you guys some really cool stuff tonight. And I try to do it every night, but tonight's going to be some really cool stuff, I think. Right? And bring your dreams, goals, aspirations, problems as well, because we can sort some shit out while we're here. Write it down. Take a picture. Or like Jesse, our good friend, used to say to us, I don't like to write. I like to swipe. So swipe or screenshot. Turn your phone, screenshot everything you see here. And I'm not telling you, here's the thing, even if you're a coach too, and you just want to kind of sneak in like a spy and watch my stuff, awesome. Wonderful. But give it out the way that I showed it, please. I mean, like, don't take anything away. Add to it. Don't. I mean, you can take it. I don't give a shit. I can create this stuff all day long, no problem. But make sure that if you're taking our stuff, you have the stories and the qualifications and I wouldn't say certifications because I don't give a shit about that. But make sure that you're giving it out with love. Okay, because when I write this stuff, it comes from my own personal life. Okay. And for those of you who are the students who just want to learn this stuff, take it, run with it. You know, put the shit in your phone, keep it with you. Write it down. I prefer you write it down though. Right. So as I always say, well, now I say it. If I were a police officer and I pulled you over, I'm gonna ask for three things. I don't care what city or state I'm in. What are those three things I'm gonna ask for? Anybody could tell me? Miss Anita. I don't know if you're still with us. We I don't think we've heard from you in quite some time. We'd love to hear from you. If I were a police officer and I was pulling you over, I'm gonna ask you for three things. What are those three things I'm gonna ask you for? How are you, sir? Good. I got my guy to my right of me making smacking noises. There you go. There it is. License, registration, proof of insurance. Like I said, I don't care what state you're in, what city you're in. They are all trained to ask you the same exact questions. As your neighborhood life coach tonight, Jerry, thank you, sir. Driver's license, registration, proof of insurance. If you do not have those things, they will give you a fat, nasty ticket, or at least a fix-it ticket. Yeah, no, that's not my son. My son's at his mom's. This is my guy. You know, the other one. Matter of fact, the guy that I used to work with over at Triplex, the taller one. You know what I'm talking about, Jerry. Whatever. There was two that I worked with, right? I the taller one lives here now. Anywho, um, so as your certified life coach, I will be asking you three questions, which is, do you know what your top five values are? Do you have a constitution on which you stand on? Yes, sir. Yes, he said no shit. Yep. Yes. No stuff. Yeah. And the last one is, do you have an oath or a pledge that is yours? Anita, I don't know if you know what we're talking about. And if you do, awesome. If you do not, don't worry about it. I got you covered. Now, the reason why I asked for this is because all change, transformation, and progress will start with you first. I will never ask you guys anything that I haven't either done myself or doing myself or won't do with you. Never. I'll never ask that. I don't like that shit. Okay? Never. But it all starts with you first. Now, here's the funny thing about this. Transformation is something you got to work towards. Progress is something you have to work towards. Change, on the other hand, is kind of like a paradox. I'm going to tell you why. Because change is going to happen whether you do something or not. Change is inevitable. Transformation and progress are not. They're not at all. She said, I need to go back and catch up on the Constitution. Ooh, don't worry. I got you right now. So this is my top five. And if you guys remember, I had, hold on, let me see. Let's make this a little bit bigger. How about we do that? Okay, there we go. Can you guys see that a little bit better now? I want to try to make sure you guys. Okay. So when we talk about your top five, and if you notice, guys, I changed mine up a little bit. Um, and I'll probably kind of do that a little bit more. The top few will always stay the same, but motorcycles, I mean, as I get older, I don't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a thing for me, but it's really not, you know. And again, like I tell you, I mean, it's okay to change your stuff up as long as you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Do what you do. So, Anita, this is what I was talking about, like my constitution. I wrote this in 2014 while I was sleeping on my friend's couch of the type of man that I wanted to become, what I no longer wanted to sit for or stand on. Um, and I just wrote these things out. You know, so like number one is to be the best father I can be. Number two is know myself. Number three is never assume anything. That acronym there is figure it the fuck out. That's what FITFO means. Figure it the fuck out. Uh Number four is ask, always seek knowledge. That's what asking is for. And then embrace the journey. And number 6 is one of my personal favorites. It's lead by example, even if I'm alone. And the reason why I ask people to really know what their stuff is because you don't want somebody finding out. You don't want somebody to find out. Let me rephrase that. You don't want people finding out about you before you find out about you. That's how people end up in jail or unalived because somebody knocked them out of pocket, got them out of pocket, and they didn't know themselves well enough to be able to be like, you know what? This ain't what I stand on. This ain't what I stand for. Look at the consequences if I put hands on this person, if I do this and the other. This is what's going to happen to me. Can you withstand being called a snitch? Can you withstand being being accosted? Can you withstand being bullied by somebody? Knowing that you can go in on them if you wanted to. Can you still stand on who you are and know that life's about to whoop your ass, but you still got something to stand on? You see what I mean? So that's what our Constitution is. So, like I said, take my stuff, um, take a picture of it, write it down. That's what it's for. And if you need me to help you create one, let me know. This is what I do. Okay, promise. And then here is my oath that I gave to myself. I say this every single morning that I get up. Every single morning. You know what I'm saying? Like this is that thing that I say to myself. And again, helping you guys create these things for yourselves. Let me know. This is what I do. And the great thing that I love about when I was talking to Jessica about this, and Jessica reminded me, she said, you should really do these with people before you start working with them with their dreams, goals, aspirations, and or even problems. Because she said like it made me, I'm speaking for her. Did Jessica please attest to what I'm saying, pretty please? Affirm, like as Anita said, what I'm saying. Um, she said that like once she started understanding what these things were, it became a lot easier to deal with certain shit. Because I think that we all know what we stand for the most part. Ideally, I think that we know, right? But there's something different. It hit different when you write that shit down, when you can read it out. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, you're not forgetting anything. It's right there in black and white. You can see it, you can read it. That's the reason why a lot of people suffer, I think, is because they don't have that shit written out. They don't have a constitution for themselves. Right? They don't know what their top 5 values are. Right? I'm just saying that that's what this is, right? So anywho, let's kind of keep it pushing because you know me, I can go in on this shit. Please ask as many questions as humanly possible because I am only here to help. This is one of my values. One of my top 3 values, actually, is to help. Let me do that. Let me do my job. Let me help you get from point A to point B. Can I do that? Please? Before we get started, can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a hell yeah? Pretty please, sugar on top. How you doing, buddy? You good? Okay. Thank you, Jer Bear. Anita, thank you, dear. Who else is in there with it? Renita, the mad scientist. My mad scientist. Jessica, you still with us? Yep, she said yes. Okay. I see you, dear. Sorry. Hey, everybody else with us? Just say hell yeah. And if you don't, that's cool too. My crew is here, the fearless crew is here. That's all that matters. We are the few. Because there's only a few of us willing to do this. It's only a few people willing to put that work in. All right, so as promised, here's a quick cheat sheet. Let me make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Sorry, give me a second. You know, here's the great thing about this stuff. The great thing about this is that when you build these things, you know how to change up whatever you need to. So if I need to take something off, if I need to make it smaller, whatever, I know how to change it up. That's the great thing about figuring shit the fuck out for yourself, right? Because you imagine if I had somebody else creating all these for me. Because you imagine if these were already like PDFs and I can't change anything. So you're like, what does that mean? What does that say? And I'm like, I don't know. I could barely read it myself, right? It takes me some time to put these things together. So now slide one will be acknowledge the loss. Don't trip. We'll get into that. Name what you hope for. Number three, feel it fully. Number four, three, then four, detangle your identity. Number five, learn from the ruins. You're going to like that one. I like that one. Number six, rewrite the vision. Number seven, remain. Celebrate what remains. And obviously at the end, I got a bonus one for you, which I think is kind of cool. Just throwing it out there. So without further ado, we're going to get started on our 7 steps to grieve the life you thought you'd have. And before we get started, we are sponsored here by a gentleman by the name of Fearless Cummings, which would be me. I will be your host and life coach for the evening. 23 years of coaching, and tonight we're going to talk about the 7 steps that you thought about the life that you thought that you would have. Okay? You ready? You already said hell yeah. So I'm just going to say, let's go. So number 1, acknowledge that loss. Okay? You have to acknowledge it. You got to say, damn, dude, man, I wish that relationship would have worked out. Damn, man, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a hell of a relationship. Even whether it's platonic, business, romantic, whatever it may be. Man, that sucked. Right? And here's the thing, it's okay to mourn that dream. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? Denial keeps you stuck in what should have been. Like, man, I wish that this would have done all this. Nah. You don't gotta do all that. Just acknowledge it. Right? Grief isn't just about people, like I said before, it's also for about those possibilities that never happen. Right? I'm just saying like that, and that shit sucks. Now let's be honest about it. It sucks. But acknowledge the loss, accept it, say okay, and there's nothing wrong with reminiscing. As long as it's not like a wish type thing. You know what I mean? Like, man, I miss those good old days. And, you know, when I was in high school, if your ass 54 years old, bro, that shit's over. Come on, man. And again, even if you could physically go back, if you would have stepped into a time machine and go back into the time, dude, you'd probably end up in jail. I mean, think about it. If you had the same mindset that you have now, then, oh my God. What? No. Even like I have nightmares of waking up thinking like, oh, dude, they accidentally gave me my high school diploma, and then like you got to go back for like an extra year, and you're like 40 years old, and you have to go back to high school. Oh my God, dude. Oh, dude. I swear to God, I've had nightmares about that. And they're nightmares. They're not dreams. They're nightmares that I had to go back to school to finish up my high school education. Dead ass. And it was not cute at all. So, yeah. Have you guys ever had dreams like that? Have you ever had a dream that was so crazy and it was something about the past, but you had to go back to the past and relive that shit? Not like a trauma, because I wasn't traumatized or nothing in high school. But as a 40-year-old man, like I don't want to be in high. What? Hell no. No, sir. No. 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 You got to go on the talent shows and you got to go to PE now. I mean, the only thing about it though is, I mean, you'll probably be in way better shape because you got to be up moving around and this, that, and the other. But man, that, god damn, I'm just saying like that. That doesn't seem fun. Yeah, I had to ask him to leave, Jerry. I had to ask him to leave. All right, so slide two. Name what you hoped for. Be honest about what you wanted. Put it out there. You know, whether it's a career, a love, a family, a recognition. And in order to be able to get past it, you have to be able to name it. Remember when we talked about problem solving? Remember when we talked about identifying your stuff? That's how we do it. You have to clarify, you have to name what it is. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Sorry, man. My guy is in my ear doing this mouth thing. Oh my God, that shit's so annoying. Anyway, so you have to bring clarity to release it, right? Like I said, I mean, there's nothing wrong with reminiscing over it. At least I don't think so. But I really don't do it all that often. But I mean, like with past type stuff. But like relationships with friends, I do. I'm like, man, why did I say that? Why did I do that? You know? So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But say what it is so you can get past it. Oh, hold on, sorry. Feel it fully. Now, like I said, majority of what we're gonna go through is more of a mental game than anything else. It's all mental. Unless it's something physical. Shit, I don't know. But I can almost guarantee you what you're going through, what you're gonna go through is gonna usually be a mental type of game that you're gonna go through. But don't numb it. Feel it. All of it. I had an associate of mine, and she was telling me about this relationship that she had been in for a number of years. And she said that everybody around her tells her like that you shouldn't feel bad about breaking up with him, and you shouldn't feel bad because of the way he treated you, and why do you still love him, and this, that, and the other. And she was just talking to me about this, and I told her because she had asked me, am I wrong for feeling this way? And I said, hell no, you're not. No. I told her, feel all of that. Feel that shit. I said, listen, a lot of people out here have no idea what it even means to feel like that they've been loved or that they're in love with another person. You got to feel that both ways. And unfortunately, this individual didn't live up to your expectations, right? And things ended the way that they did. But you shouldn't have to, you don't feel bad that you still love this man. You gave everything to him, correct? She said, yeah, I did. So why would you feel dumb about that? Just because somebody else is telling you that shit. Don't no. No. However you feel is how you feel. Those are your feelings and they're valid. Okay? Stop looking to other people about your shit. This is your thing. Now, if you need help, compartmentalizing that relationship, let me know and I can help you out. Fill some stuff out and create little boxes for this and the other. Hell, I'm amazing at that shit. But to sit there and feel bad about a relationship that you've been in for however long and it didn't end well, and then people like you shouldn't still be in love with him. Look at what he did. These are the same people that would have done the same exact thing that you did, who'd feel the same exact way that you felt. So there's nothing wrong with that. Feel that shit fully. I tell my kid the same thing. He came home and man, one day he was crying. God, crying over this little girl. And I told my son, I said, man, he said, I'm sorry, Dad. I said, no, 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 no. Don't be sorry. I said, honey, I need you to feel all this. Feel it. He said, you want me to feel bad? I said, honey, I kind of do. I don't want you to feel bad because I like seeing you in pain. I need you to feel bad because I need you to know what that feels like. All of it. Because then you'll know how it feels if you do that shit to somebody else. You got to use that pain. Okay? Got to use it. You got to make space for that shit. All of it. Right? Tell them, let that out, man. Get it out of you. There's nothing wrong with feeling anything. I said, as you get older and your hormones and your emotions start calming down, I'll teach you how to put that shit somewhere else until you can deal with it fully. But for right now, son, nah, man, you got to learn how to deal with all this. You got to deal with that raw, uncut feeling. How many of y'all, by show of hands, just a matter of fact, just put an I, have either had to deal with this or tell somebody else about how to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Like of telling people to feel that shit, you got to feel all of it. I mean, matter of fact, how many of you agree with that statement that you need to feel all of that? How many of you agree with it? Anita said I. Okay. Okay. Don't numb it. You got to feel it. Every bit of it. Right? So it's not something that you reciprocate to somebody else. Facts. We are all human. Thank you. Even this guy named Fearless said hi. The sis Rebecca was like, hell yeah, I know I have. Facts. We're human. Correct. I think the worst thing that a man could ever tell his son is don't cry. Suck that shit up. Hide your emotions. Nah, buddy. Not here. Not here. I was just talking to my son about this last night. Said, son, when you become a father of your own, you'll hopefully remember these conversations that you and I are having. Okay. Number 4, detangle your identity. What do I mean by detangle? I mean separate your identity from what you're doing, from the title, from your role. You are not your failed plans, right? You are not that rapper that you used to be. I wanted to be a rapper. I didn't personally. But hold on one second. What did Jessica say? You can't help how you feel, but you can control your reaction. Yeah, your reaction to yes, 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 ma'am. You can control your reaction to the emotion, but not necessarily how you feel about it. Now, what you do from that point, that's all yours. But feeling how you feel, unless you're some type of robot or some automaton, you're not going to. Our football coach per teacher, PE teacher, is always telling his kindergarten son not to cry at lunchtime. Drives me and the other parents. Of course. Of course. And I mean, you know what? Let's put it out there. This is that type of shit that when they say they end up going postal, what do you think that is? Because they have all these built up emotions that they never really been able to put out there without a father, a parent, a society, or somebody else telling them that they can't cry, that they can't get it out. I tell my son all the time, like, no, buddy, man, if you can't be yourself here, where the fuck else can you be yourself at? Because you imagine the kids going through that now. Who's a father telling his boy. And think about it. Our sons, especially our sons, look at us like Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like they think of us like we are it. Like there's nothing above us. And they'll take our word for everything. So we say, man, no, man, stop that crying shit. No. Because now they're hiding that stuff. And then when it sits there and boils, then it explodes. It explodes 20, 30 years later. It explodes when they're married. It explodes when they have children. It explodes when somebody cuts them off in traffic. It explodes when they have dreams that they had to defer. Y'all see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's crazy. You know, so we have to discover the who behind that what. Hold on one second. Jessica says side 4 is the hardest for me. I had so many expectations when it came. Yes. Yep. I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure. You know, and I think for you, Jessica, and please um let me know if I'm mistaken, but I think for you, your biggest thing was trying to is I think the biggest thing for you was restructuring and redefining what it meant to be a parent. You know what I mean? Like I think that that's been your biggest hurdle, if you will, right? Because you've always seen, if I'm sure she doesn't mind me telling. Jessica has had a minivan since her early 20s. She's been wanting to be a mom so long that that's all she was getting was minivans. You know what I'm saying? It was minivan. When I met her, she had dogs. I'm like, dude, who gets a minivan for dogs? But whatever, do you, right? But she's like, no, I want to be a mom so bad that like I'm trying to bring that into existence. I got that. I totally understood it. Right. That woman done spent so much money on all these what is it, IDF or IVF things, whatever, to get pregnant and to no avail, right? But and I would always tell her, I'm like, dude, with all the stuff that you do, I'm like, dude, you're already a mom, you know? And then when she started adopting and doing foster care and stuff, I would tell her all this. I'm like, dude, you're already mothering. And you're a mom. This is what it is. You feel the same emotions. You have the same anger. You have the same frustrations. You make sure that they eat at night. You make sure they get their little nasty asses in the bath. This is what parenting is. Whether they came out of you or not is irrelevant. You're still in charge of making sure not just charge, you're responsible for somebody else's life. How the fuck is that not a parent? You know? So I never hear him tell his daughter not to cry. Right. Of course you're not. You're not gonna most guys are not gonna tell their daughters not that shit. No. But in a man society we think, yeah, no, we're buff, we're big. We don't need to, do all that stuff. I mean, that's what's up. Your kid can be like that. My kid, if he feels away, hey, come on in, man. Come get this hug. Let it out. Get it out. Get it out, and then we can talk about it. I would never tell my son to suck that shit up. Never. That's just me, though. I ain't telling y'all how to parent. I'm just saying that's what I do. You know what I mean? So for those of you just showing up and have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, my name is Fearless Cummings, and welcome to Ask Fearless, where we talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, and/or problems. And I kind of give you some tools, tips, and strategies to deal with those dreams, goals, aspirations, and or problems. Um, Tonight we're talking about 7 ways to grieve the thought of the life that you would have had, that you would have had. I should have probably narrowed. Okay, you know what? I'm actually looking up at the screen. It is 7 steps to grieve the life you thought you would have had. What do you think? Better? I like the second one. Second one was better. Second one was better. Look at that. See that, Jessica? Telling you, people still fuck with you. You know. And I mean, here's the cool thing, man. She's an amazing mom too. Like amazing. Just took on to it just like I knew she would, and she knew she would. Right? I mean, because this is her calling. This is her thing. Like I told you, she was that person that literally gave up her job. I shit you not. Her job, making what, 14, $15,000, gave it up to be a mom. Tell me motherfucking values. Come on, man. Tell me a person's personal constitution, a person's ethics, a person's morals, a person's principles don't account for something. Shit, I'm telling you, I've seen miracles with this. You know, and like I say, this is something we do. We may not name it or know what it's called, but that's what it is. Sacrifice. Another thing, yeah. So shit, show me a parent that has not sacrificed for their children. The scripture says that God sent his only begotten son to get the shit beat out of him and then murdered. I'm not saying that the scripture says that. So all I'm saying, what greater sacrifice is that? I mean, I wouldn't do that. I'm good on that. No. I'll sacrifice for my son, but I wouldn't sacrifice him. No, I'm good on that. Number 5, learn from the ruins. There's wisdom in what didn't work out. There's wisdom in what you didn't get. What was that version of life teaching you? Jessica, remember that conversation we just had today about those certain individuals in our lives that it's like, dude, no thank you. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. I'm good. No thanks. No thank you. Right? Pain is not punishment, it is fucking perspective. His perspective. How do we look at things? How do we accept things? How do we look at people? How do we look at our situations? Right? What is this version of life teaching you? What did it teach you? Well, it taught me that, and it taught me, especially dealing with certain people in my life, right? Like my cutoff game with people is vicious. And when I tell you vicious, I mean vicious with a capital V, like vinegar, vicious, vicious. I will cut people the fuck off, no problem. No issues. Matters nothing to me to do it. But then I started thinking about things. And I'm like, I don't mind being by myself. See, my Aunt Angie, she's a little older in age. And she's like, man, once you hit a certain age, you're going to feel differently about that. I said, no, you feel differently about that. I've understood that I don't mind being by myself. Like, I really don't mind it. As long as I got my books, as long as I got access to my baby somewhere, right? As long as I got a pen and pad, that doesn't bother me. I love being alone. but it doesn't bother me being around other people either. You see what I mean? Whereas there's certain people who just they don't like being alone. They don't like being by themselves. They can't do that. I can. That but that's how I gain energy. I get my energy when I'm by myself. Other people get energy when they go out to the club. They get their energy when they're surrounded by people. Some people get their energy when they go to church. When they're surrounded by people who feel the same way that they feel. Some people feel that way when they go to a park or an amusement park or something like that. I I gain my energy when I'm by myself, right? But I also get to sit down and reflect on what worked and what didn't work and why it didn't work. And remember, like I told y'all, I'm quick. I'm a quick, staunch individual when it comes to checking myself on shit. I always ask, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do to bring this situation upon myself? Right? I ask myself that constantly. I mean, as a coach, I have to. I don't have a choice. Well, I guess I do have a choice. I choose self-reflection. How many steps in the option, Jerry? Actually, any of y'all can answer that. How you guys doing? Are you guys are you guys taking this stuff in? Are you understanding where I'm coming from on this? Can I get a hell yeah? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Three. Three. There you go. Now, how many steps has choices? How many so-called options does a choice have? Renita, you with me, dear? Anita, you still with me? Hell yeah, okay. Just asking. There it is. There it is. All right, let's keep it going. All right, number 6. Rewrite the vision. Rewrite that shit. Anita, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, dear. Here, let me, goddamn. I keep forgetting that I have to, every time you guys say something, I have to click on it so it actually pop up. Because the people on YouTube, if they're on, they won't be able to see it unless I put it up here. Look at her. I'm telling my mad scientist. She says, yes, I'm listening while working on labels. Of course you are. Of course you are. What are you working on now, by the way? So number 6, rewrite the vision. So plan A, let go of plan A and create a plan U. See where you are, now where you want to be. Right? So the only thing you can do is where you are at this present moment in time. Right here, right now, what can we do about this? Right? So if you're going to design the life that you want, you design it from your purpose, not from pressure. But then here's the thing though, because sometimes you're pressured you're pressured to pursue your purpose. Right? So you have to make a decision right now. That Jessica had to. Jessica, am I right? I mean, can I can you attest to that? Ingredients from a pilot. Okay, having a pop up somehow. Perfect. I love it. Jessica, did you have to choose between your job and your kids? Between being a mother and being a worker? She had to choose that. She had to choose it. And I tell her all the time, man, I'm proud of you for that. I'm proud of you for that. Right? She chose her fucking purpose. Right? But again, she was pressured. She was pressured. She could have chose profit over her purpose. But that pressure was intense. They was not playing. They was not playing around. Jessica said, choose a child I only know for 30 days. She said, choose a child I only know for 30 days over over $14,000 a month. Come on, man. If if that's not pressure, hmm? But again though, if you look at if you look at her top five, that's where her values are. Her values was to be a mom. So it's not so again, if you ask somebody else something like this, they say, I don't know what it is. But we know what it is because we've seen her top five before. Have we not? Hold on one sec. Let's hmm. Give me a second. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to. I'm gonna try to find Jessica's thing because I loved it so much, but then she still sends me weird shit, and I have to kind of go through it. So for her, it's integrity first. That's what her values are, right? And like I told y'all before, when you write up your principles for the most part, they're going to you're the only one who's going to know what those are or what they mean. Someone, what is this side 23 mouth, right? So when I say be the best father I can be, what does that mean? I know what that means. That means I'll sacrifice anything for my son, anything for him. That means that I'll do whatever I need to do to be around for my kid. So hey man, if I gotta change up my diet some, then shit, that's what I gotta do. If I gotta save 10 to 20% of everything that I make, then that's what I'm gonna do. Sacrificing for your children also mean doing better for them as well. It's not that, man, I'll die for my son any day of the week. Fuck that. You're gonna die anyway. So what are you talking about? The question is, would you live for them? What are you willing to do to live longer? My son, when he was young, man, he used to I used when I was smoking and stuff, I didn't like smoking around him, you know? And he hated us smoking. I don't smoke anymore. I am a non-smoker. I do not smoke at all. Vape, nothing. Ironically enough, he was asking me, Dad, would you be mad at me if I started vaping? Son, please don't do that. Why not? Then I got to go through that whole rigmarole, right? Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. That's what it is, right? Jessica literally lived her purpose. She lived that principle, right? We all have to. There's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to fucking choose. Just saying. And majority of us have. Have we not? Yeah, and I'm sure he's probably going to too. Like, just don't. I'm like, man, come on, dude. It's crazy. Number 7, celebrate what remains. Celebrate what remains. Not always lost, something survived. And here's the thing, you survived something that somebody else did not. I want you to think about that. You survived something that somebody else didn't. Ain't that crazy to think about that? You survived something that somebody else didn't, right? Gratitude reframes the rumble within itself. So when you start looking at those old pictures and you start reminiscing and stuff, you got to remember what's still around you, what's still there. That old house that I lived on Saratoga is still there. That house that I lived on 40th Ave is still there. You know, the Nebraska Boys Ranch, although it may not be there, those those memories are still deep inside of me. That's where I learned how to. That's where I learned structure. That's where I learned what it meant to be a family. Right. I mean, there was black kids, there were Native American kids, there were Mexican kids, there were white kids there, Italian kids. You know, I mean, we all grew up together. All of us went to the same school, ate at the same place, slept in the same dorms, showered at the same. I mean, dude, what? Shopped at the same places. A bunch of people who didn't know each other. Now they got to live together, gets kids, right? And then when people like myself grow up, I have a whole belief system and loyalty to people, right? And if that loyalty is broken, that's not just a value of mine. Remember, your value is up here. Your belief is what that value is built on. Your experiences are what your values are built on. So that's why I have a whole belief on that shit. My values represent that. My constitution represents that shit. The oath that I stand for represents that shit. You know? I mean, you gotta have something that 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 you stand for. I'm meeting people now that they they ain't got no set of principles at all. Like none. Jessica and I was just talking about that today. Talking about people that man ain't people ain't got no certain men and women ain't got no integrity whatsoever. Ain't got nothing to stand on. No modesty, no honesty, no fucking sort of loyalty. And then they wonder why their life is in turmoil. Why their life is shit. Well, because you ain't got no dreams, goals, or aspirations. All you got is fucking problems. That's that. And then sadly enough, won't even take any accountability to do something about it. So you know what we do with people like that? We pray for them and we walk the fuck away. I acknowledge people like that. I acknowledge you, but I don't have to be around you, right? I'm just saying, honor your resilience and your growth. And that's how you honor it. You honor it by saying, you know what? I wish you nothing but the best in life. I truly do. Right? But if we have to run from the police, I need you to go in a different direction because I can't run with you. You got that bad juju, stink poverty, stink on you. No, thank you, sir. Dogs are going to catch you. Huh? That's all I'm saying. What's our bonus? Bonus is make peace with the past. Make peace with it. Accept that. Yeah, what is he said? What is it? Bonus time. My man's like, no, let's go, let's go. I'm okay with that too. Except that the old dream, so it served its time, right? It served it. Close that chapter with compassion, not shame. The future deserves you. And I put the healed you, but here's the thing. It needs you just to show the fuck up. I'm not gonna say that you need to be healed, because I still have a lot of anger and hatred and pain deep inside of me, and that shit serves me very well. I've also seen places where it does not serve me, but it has. I use it for, I guess, sometimes motivation. I don't need to be motivated by other people. I could do that on my own, right? But the future needs you to show up. And even if you can't show up, you got kids, don't you? You're married, aren't you? You got people who love you, right? Show up for them if you can't show up for yourself. Okay? So that's all I'm saying. Right? Show up for them. Okay? So here's real quick. Thank whatever, acknowledge your loss, name what you hoped for. Remember, put that shit out there. Uh Feel it fully. Detangle your identity. Rewrite your vision. Learn from your ruins. Celebrate what remains. And try to make peace with the fucking past. That's how you grow, is through experience, right? So learn from it. Remember, like I said, you survived something that somebody else didn't. Okay? So let me ask you, real quick, before I get you guys out of here. With these, which one of these, or however many, resonated with you most? I think that will make this kind of that thing for us. Which one of these resonated with you most? I'm looking at it from my standpoint. I'm going to say one. I think I could say two. Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm gonna say one, two, feel it fully, of course. Yeah, because you don't have to have that identity. Learn from the ruins. Rewrite the vision. I don't really give a shit about that one. Celebrate the remains and makes peace with the past. So I'll say all of them, actually, except for six. Damn, Jerry, you threw yours up there too. Jessica said one through seven. Jerry said one, three, four, five, and seven. Oh, Mr. Cummings, whoever that amazing guy is, basically said all of them except for six. Okay, I can get behind that. What about you, Anita? Which ones did which ones resonated with you? You too, Renita and Rebecca. Which ones resonated with you guys most? It's fine. I'm sitting there looking at this dude. He just sitting there just closing his eyes doing it. I just think he's funny. He said they all put the bonus the most. Really? Make peace with the past. That's yours. Okay. So you like them all, but number 8 really resonated with you. Okay. Okay, I get that. What about you, Rebecca? Which ones, which one or ones did you resonate with the most? It's funny, man. When I write these things, I have no idea whether you guys are. Jerry said, does he still clap for? Yes, he does still clap for himself. Yes, he does. Yeah, I usually have to say, hey, bro, you got to stop. Now that we live together, he doesn't really do that a lot, unless he's like frustrated or mad. But like he doesn't do that here at all. My NyQuil kicked in about 20 minutes ago. I think She said, I think all but maybe 7 and 9. Okay, awesome. Get some sleep, Rebecca. And 8. Okay, I got you. That's what's up. Fuck yes, yeah, for sure. Well, all right, guys, man. I'm gonna let you guys get out of here a little early. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And like I always tell you, get some rest, but dream big. Dream big. Get out of here. Go enjoy your night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.